In this video, we're going to learn how to use the crop tool. And the crop tool looks like this, circled by the red. It's at the top of the toolbar, or the toolbox, tool panel. And the crop tool lets me change the size of an image. It changes the aspect ratio of an image. Aspect ratio, as you may or may not know, is the mathematical relationship between the vertical and horizontal measurements. How wide something is versus how high. In this case, the aspect ratio favors the vertical, whereas in this one it favors the horizontal. Each of these creates a different impression of the image on the viewer. Now, the way that the crop tool works is first you have to select it from the toolbox, and then to use it, you simply click and drag to create a crop area, like this. You can make adjustments to it as you go. You can make decisions about how it's going to look. And to get a pleasing appearance, you want to try to use the rule of thirds, which divides the screen into like a tic-tac-toe board. You don't see the board, you don't see the lines necessarily, but this way you can sort of think through how it should go. So as you can see, you can keep adjusting until you get an image you like. In this case, I'm going to try to favor a vertical aspect ratio, and I'm going to try to avoid major objects like pieces of the flower being tangent to the edge. I'm going to try to keep the major pieces off the edge of the screen. So once you like what you've selected, press Enter on the keyboard to commit to the change. So in this one, I've gone vertical. Let's go to another one. Let's try horizontal. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the crop tool, and I'm going to go for a horizontal aspect ratio. In this case, I've created some negative space to the right and above the main area. So the flower appears to be our main subject, and I want to try to get as near as I can to the third line running up and down this way. So I've got a nice appearance that draws our eye into it because it's the brightest thing in the picture. And as I said, I can adjust using the corners, or I can adjust using the midspan. And if I hit Enter, that'll commit to the change. Third crop. In this case, I want to rotate the crop. So first I'm going to try to get a crop area just kind of roughly in there. I'm going to rotate it, and I want to try to think about that line being horizontal or close to it. And again, the rule of thirds. Let's have them heading into the picture. So once I've got that crop set up and ready to go, I just hit Enter, and it actually rotates it.
Congratulations.
So once I have the crop the way I want, and I've rotated it exactly where I want, and by the way, to get it to rotate, you need to put your cursor near the corner, and the appearance of the cursor will change to a sort of little swivel piece. And again, to commit to the change, I push Enter, and there I go. So for each of these, now I've created a different aspect ratio from the usual appearance of the screen, and each of them creates a different appearance for the image, which gives us a different impression upon the viewer. More later on, more specifics on the crop, which include things up in the options bar for width, resolution, so you can specify which I'll cover in the next cropping video.